Hey guys, welcome back, and today, as you can maybe tell from the title, got a row curl, I am going to be testing the Jessup 15-piece brush set, eye brush set. I ordered these, let's figure this out. I ordered these. They do come from China, so obviously if you are ordering them, then just be aware of that. Delivery does take a little bit, but it wasn't too bad to say that it was Christmas and New Year. Let me just find my email. So I ordered them on the 28th of December, and it is now the 9th of December. So I ordered these just under 2 weeks ago, and they came today. So obviously not too bad a delivery to say. We've had New Year and everything and the bank holidays, all in between that. But this, let me show you what they look like. This is what they look like. They look really nice actually. Sort of mix of like eyeshadow brushes as well as like detail brushes. There's some brow brushes in there. And they are in black and silver. On them they have got Jessup, the number, and then what the brush is. Obviously you don't have to go by that, but if you are obviously starting in makeup, or if you are a bit unsure what brushes are for, that does give you a bit of guidance. But these were a bargain. But these were £11.57 I paid. It does charge you in dollars, but you can use PayPal. So obviously if you are worried about any foreign exchange or anything like that, you can use PayPal just for that peace of mind. But that is what they look like. They feel really good. Like there's no, just from like pulling them like that, no hairs shedding, and they feel really soft as well. So I'm looking forward to that. And I also got a little free gift as well, which is this one. They all came in these little sort of plastic sleeves, which obviously I removed because that would save some time. But I also got this Jessup brush, which is the Jessup brush, and it's the number 13 brush. It's just like a small fluffy brush, which is actually similar to, where is it? Similar but smaller. This is the 221 Luxe Soft Crease Brush. So as you can see, very similar shapes, just this one is a bit longer and fluffier, and this one is obviously a bit stumpier to say. The only thing I will say is the brush actual handles are a bit short, so let me grab a Morphe brush. Not massively, like there's not a massive amount of difference, but they are slightly shorter. Please excuse my cough. But I'm going to be doing an eye look. As you can see, I've already got some face makeup on. And the eyeshadow palette I'm going to use, which I thought I would use as sort of a little congratulations. I'm going to be using my very mucky, covered in fingerprints, let's just clean that a little bit, my Imogenation Revolution collaboration, because today she announced on her Instagram that she got engaged, so I thought I would use her eyeshadow palette. I also used her face palette for my highlights, which I mixed. Let me grab it. Her highlight palette, her face palette, if you haven't seen it, is Highlights the Moon, and it looks, a little bit like this. I used these two colours mixed together to contour, and then I used these two outer ones, highlights, which are limited edition, and Angel Face to get this glow. The only thing I will say, that limited edition, so this one is very icy, so use it sparingly if you do prefer more of a warm tone. It is blinding, but it is very icy. Look at that, it is gorgeous, but it can be very icy. But yeah, so I have got that on my face, and I'm going to try and use as many brushes as I can. Probably won't be able to use them all today, obviously, but I'm going to try and use as many as I can to create this eye look, so we can test out, obviously, them all, because for £15, no, £11, nearly £12, for 15 brushes, if these are good, they are definitely worth the money. So, let's start. Please excuse this cough. It's driving me up the wall. I'm going to start with the Lux 221 Soft Crease Brush. And I'm going to take, sorry, try not to blind you. I'm going to take the shade Honeybee here, and with it being like quite a big fluffy brush, it will hopefully just diffuse that. Picks up quite nicely, if you can see that. Just tap off a little bit of the excess, because I have already put my face on, so I don't want to be orange on my cheeks. I have got, what have I got on my face? On my eyes, I have primed with Collection Lasting Perfection in Extra Fair. Just the concealer that I'm wearing under my eyes, so that's the one that I used for my eyelids. And then I just didn't set it as in like full on proper set it, but as I was setting my under eyes, as I swept that away, I just used the excess that the brush picked up just to set the concealer in place, just to make sure that it didn't like really crease, because my eyelids do crease. So this is blending this out really nicely, if you can see that. Yeah, that's blending that out really nicely. They're not soft at all, like not pokey or like anything like that. So excuse the little pink fluffy headband I've got going on, but I can't find my plain black one. This is the one we got for my friend's hen party, if you can see it says there. And it's molting feathers everywhere. So let's go on. As you can see, that's just blended that out nicely, blown that out. Let's go for, let's have a look, what brushes have we got here? Let's go for this one, which looks quite nice. It's a 228 Luxe Crease brush. It's just a little bit tapered, so it should be able to get some pigment exactly where we want it. And I'm just picking up the shade Mills, and I'm just going to put that right in my crease. Now these are actually really precise, these brushes. As you can see, it's just keeping that colour. Let's zoom you in a little bit. You right in. Hit the wrong button and thought I'd just lost my footage, but yeah, I've just managed to zoom you in. As I said, I'm still just putting that Mills shade through my crease, and I don't know if it's the lighting on this camera or if it's these lights. Nope, that doesn't help, that just completely blanks us out. But we've got one rogue here that's just fallen out. But actually this it looks more pigmented in person than it does in the camera. But I have got a new lighting bar, which I'm still getting used to, so it may be that. I may have to change a few settings on my camera. But the orange tones in this palette are gorgeous. I absolutely love them. And we all know I love a good orange warm toned eye. So I've just changed my mind as I was just blending that eyeshadow out. I'm actually going to do, I'm going to do a little bit of like a halo kind of eye. Okay, so this little brush, I don't know if it's just the odd one, but there is just like the odd little hair that's fallen out, but I've only had like one or two. And if it's only one or two, then I'm fine with that. There we go, I'm just bringing that orange up slightly higher, that second shade, Mills. Because I don't want to lose the shades when we come to do the halo. Those two shades down and they are looking really nice. They've blended, these eyeshadows do work well, but they have blended really easily. The one that we got, which is just the Jessup 13 brush, it's called. I'm going to take the colour which is this really orange colour there. I'm just going to pick not too much up, and I'm going to stamp that on the outer corner and bring it through my crease a bit, just to give it more of like a sunset effect. And with this being a bit smaller but still fluffy, it's like diffusing it while I'm putting the colour down. So that has just added a little bit of depth to that crease. And now I'm going to go in with a slightly smaller brush. Now, which one do I go for? I think I'm going to go, let's go for this, let's try this one. Oh, I've got a nutty curl going on over here, just ignore that. I'm going to go for the Luxe Soft Definer, which is number 227. I wouldn't normally use this many brushes, but obviously I'm trying to use as many brushes, and I'm going to take the colour Get to Know, which is this one next to You Know, and I'm just going to put that again where I just put that previous colour. All we're doing with these is just building up some depth so that when we put the cut crease, we're not going to lose any, not the cut crease, the halo, we're not going to lose any definition. As you can see, it's just adding a little more definition depth than this eye. So I'm just going to go in and just keep building those colours up. Okay, so we've just added that Get to Know, and now to really add some depth, I'm going to go in with Imagine, which is this shade right above it on the Luxe Petite Crease brush, number 231, and this is just going to go right on top of that, right on the outer corners and the inner corner. and just a little bit through the crease. Okay, so I've just been looking and I'm not 100% sure which ooh, croaky, which brush is going to be best for the cut crease. So I'm going to try this one. Oh, I am going to try this one, which is the 226 smudge brush. It looks a little bit like this. It's like domed. So we'll see. I've just got some concealer on the back of my hand. It is a bit fluffier than I would like or would normally use. I'm just going to put some concealer along my lash line, just bringing it out a little bit further than where we brought the shadow to, because we can blend back in. And then I'm going to look up, and that is where I'm going to just sort of roughly carve out my crease. Let's try and do this on camera. Sorry if you can hear all those dogs barking. I swear it's 101 Dalmatians outside tonight. So it's not the worst brush, it's not the best one, but it's not the worst brush for a cut crease. I would have preferred something that's same shape, because I like this shape from a cut crease, but maybe not quite as fluffy, just because you can get a bit crisper. Like, as you can see, like, my line isn't really crisp, but for this look we are going to blend anyway. I'm not going to leave it just like colour and then, so it hasn't got to be super sharp. But that is that eye done pretty much. I'll just go off camera, finish this one up and do this one, and then I'll come back when we're ready to put some shimmers on the lid. I've now done those and sat and played with them for too long, so I give up. I am now going to go in with some shimmer, and I'm going to take the cream shader brush, 233 brush, and it looks like this. It's domed. I would prefer it if it was a little bit shorter, but it is quite firm, so let's see. I'm going to take, too far over. I'm going to take the shade, where are we, Baby Girl, this one here, like this orangey peach shimmer. Let me swatch it for you. No, I've just dug my finger through one of the shades. That wasn't clever. It's like really sort of peachy coral colour. So I'm going to pick that up on this. I'm going to put that all over where I've just put that concealer. The thing I like about this concealer is it does actually like set down in place, so you don't need to set it, but then it's still like sticky enough that shimmers stick to it. So this is just like giving it a wash of colour, and we're going to add a little bit of interest to it in a minute. This is just like the base colour that we're putting down. Take that right to those lines that we've just done. As you can see, it's just sort of added like more of a warm tint than this. Like, this is still concealer, this has added like the warm tint to it. Oops, sorry about that. Okay, so I've put that down. Yeah, does the job. It's enough. Sometimes I actually put my shimmers on with my finger, just find they get the best payoff that way. And to blend those colours together, I'm gonna use which brush? use this one, which is the 234 Smoky Shader Brush. And it's like, ew, can't show you properly. It's like a domed brush, but it's quite fluffy. I'm going to take the shade next to it, which is Raisin Praise, and it is a shimmer. And I find this is the easiest way to blend shimmers into mattes. Use a shimmer that is closest to like that outer corner. So I'm just going to put some of that on there. And then I just wiggle backwards and forwards, so it's like flicking into the centre, so it's like naturally blending. This is the way that I find easiest, and as well you don't lose like any of that shimmer in the halo. You've still got shimmer. Yes, it's darker, but you've still got that shimmer there, and as you can see, it's like you've got a nice gradient. And then just do the same on the inner corner. This is actually a really nice brush. I like this for a plain shimmer. Should have maybe used this for the creamy shimmer. Okay, so as you can see, that's just blended that. Don't worry about that top line. That will be sorted in a minute. Tiny brush. I don't know if like we can like get comparison of how small it is. This is the 237 Detail Shader Brush, and I don't know which one to take. Now I'm going to either use, I'll swatch them next to it. I think I'm going to mix them both actually. I'm going to use the shade Huns and Angel on this brush, and just right down the middle of the eye where we want it the brightest, I'm just going to pull that from the top down and add that brightness into that centre of the eye, and then turn over so the side you didn't have the shimmer on, just wiggle to blend. And as you can see, you've got that brightness right in the corner. Look at the difference on this one to this one. You've got that brightness right in the corner where light catches the eye, just to make that halo eye really pop. I love doing this when I do halo eye. It's not that I do a halo eye very often, but just adding a brighter shade down the middle, just where we want the focus to be. And then if we do want any more of that darker colour, just take in that 234 brush with the Raisin Praise just to really blend. You can even take a bit of that Baby Girl that we used, the first shimmer, just to create, that we obviously used for the base of the shimmer, just to really seamlessly blend all of that. And as you can see, that's just adding a really nice brightness to the middle of the eyes. And then, as I said, I'm just going to blend this. And what I'm going to do, I have an itchy nose, I'm just going to take the one that we used for the shade You Know, which was the 227 Soft. No, it wasn't. Yes, it was. I can't remember. Anyway, I'm going to take this one, the 227 Soft Definer Brush. Take a little bit of You Know and Mills, really tap off that excess so that there's barely anything on the brush, and just ever so slightly dust along the edge. Just to create a more, you still get the shimmer, but just creates a bit more of a seamless look. As you can see from that one to that one, you just haven't got too much of a harsh line. I mean, there are times when you do want that definition, but, and I do when I do cut creases, but when I do halos, I just like the glow, the warmth, like that comes from the centre of the eye. More than like a definition. And then just take that very first brush that we used, no extra product, and just make sure we are all blended. And that is the spotlight bit of the eye done. And because we've still got some brushes to use, I'm not going to stop there. I'm actually going to do something I don't do very often. I'm going to take the 317, which is a little angled brush there, and I'm going to take the colour Limo, which is the black in the palette, and I'm just going to create a very soft wing, sort of like liner on here, just to deepen up that outer corner, and to use this brush. This brush is quite nice actually, it's quite firm, so it helps you, as you can see, just drawing that line there, helps you draw that line. But with it being eyeshadow as well, it doesn't take away from the colour, it just sort of blends with it. And then I'm just going to take a little bit of Imagine on that brush that we use, the Luxe Petite crease brush, and just soften that edge so that it all sort of blends together nicely. And then to finish this whole look, this is actually a brow, technically supposed to be a brow brush. It's the 322, but to me it's a bit thick for a brow brush. I would use this one, which I know is tiny, but I would use this one more as a brow brush, which is the Detail Liner brush, the 312, just because I'd find that, especially if I'm putting a pomade on, I could get a bit more accuracy. So I'm going to finish my under eyes with this, like I say, this brow liner. I'm going to take a little bit of Imagine and very tiny bit of Limo. I'm just going to work that along my lower lash line. Okay, so I've just put that on, and then because it is, it's the only sort of last fluffy brush I've got left, which is huge. It's called the Luxe All Over Shader brush, so I'm only going to pick up a little bit of the colour, and pick up a little bit of Mills and a little bit of tap that off, and hope I don't mess up the bottom of my eyes, and I'm just going to use the side of the brush as you can see it's huge, and just blend that out. So that is technically the makeup done. The last thing we have left to do is the inner corner, and we've got 3 brushes left. Obviously this one is way too big. This is actually a concealer buffer brush that you get. Oh no, I'm chucking the brushes everywhere. So we've got the Petite Eye Blender left and the Luxe pencil brush left. And I think I'm going to take the 223 Petite Eye Blender. I'm going to take Angel, and I'm just going to put that on my inner corner. I'm just going to mix a little bit of Huns May as well, because that's what we've got on the halo. Okay, so I just went off camera and finished everything off. I highlighted my brow bone with Angel and Huns, which obviously is what is glowing on my inner corner. And then I went ahead and put on, may as well follow suit, the Honey Lashes by Imogen in the style Honeybee, which I love. Really add to that sort of wing that we added with the eyeshadow. Really blown out, really dramatic, even though all I'm doing tonight is cooking tea, but who cares. I added a little bit, I don't even know which shade it is, but a little bit of NYX eyeliner in brown to my my waterline. Don't always like to put black, especially with like such a warm tone look. Brown's a little bit softer and a bit more in keeping with the look, whereas black can like really close up the eyes, whereas this adds the depth there without really closing up. And then on my lips I used Cork lip liner by MAC, and then I used the Revolution Amazing Lipstick in Embrace, which is this super true peachy nude, and I really like it. I was never sort of like a nude girl, and then Jamie Genevieve obviously brought out her MAC lipstick and I had to try that, and since then I've kind of been really liking nude lipsticks. But anyway, that got way off topic. Yeah, these brushes I would definitely say are worth it. Obviously there was 1, 2, 3 that I didn't use today, which was this little pencil brush, which would have quite easily done my inner corner just as well as the Petite Smudger brush. This would come in handy. Yes, it's technically a concealer buffing brush, but would come in handy if you're in a rush and you've like really got to blend out super quick. And this, the only reason I didn't use it was because I already had my brows on, and I used a pencil today instead of a pomade, so that is the only reason I didn't use that. But it's quite firm, but like still moves a bit, so you'll still get like those hair-like strokes from the feel of that. The rest of the brushes, there was one or two that did mold a little bit, but nothing like major, maybe like 2 or 3 hairs, which could be just down to the first use. Definitely nothing like, I didn't end up like covered in like I do cat hair and nothing like that. So I would say are definitely worth the money. Yes, you have to wait about 2 weeks for delivery, but they do say that delivery is free for one. At the minute they have, if it is still the code is still available. I will link it down below, which I think entitles you to 15% off your whole order. And I will try these out a little bit more, and if I do like them, I think I might order some face brushes to try out, because yes, I've got a lot, but obviously I do clients as well, so I like to try and keep my brushes and ones for clients separate, so it always helps to have an extra set. And obviously if the 15 eyeshadow brushes are just under £12, I don't think they're going to be that expensive for face brushes. So as I said, I will link the website, and if the code is still available, I will write the code down in the comments. I hope you all enjoyed this. A little bit more dramatic than I was going for today, but as I said, I wanted to try out all the brushes for you, and I think I pretty much achieved that. And I will leave this look over on Instagram, so go give it some love if you like it. Remember to like this like this video like this video, and let me know down in the comments what some of your favourite brushes are, and I could maybe have a look at those as well. You can never have too many brushes. Chris seems to think so, but I don't. And I will see you all next time. Bye.